Okay. Um, some teachers don't have a lab write-up. They just have a worksheet and you fill it in. Um, if you take any other class, chemistry wise, you will do exactly what we're doing in here. So you're gonna be well prepared going into particularly 1A and 3A. They're very detailed write-ups, very similar to the ones you're gonna be doing in here. Um, After a while, students tell me that they like doing it this way because they know exactly what they're going to be doing in lab when they get there, as opposed to walking in and kind of reading the directions. Oh, we're going to do this. They don't know the purpose of the lab or anything like that. All right, so these are the sections of the write-up. Now you're going to be putting all this into a comp book. All right, now, notice the signatures at the top. The one on the right is for whether you've done the pre-lab or not. The one on the left is for cleanup. You have to get me to sign off in your areas nice and clean before you go. Easy points, 3 points. You don't get the signatures. They're doing what? Cleanup. First lab, we're using water. Tough cleanup. Second lab, we're using water and salt. That was particularly important cleanup because when the water evaporates, you're left with these white and green. So really important to clean that for that. Okay, notice it's handwritten. Handwritten, no typing. The reason why it's handwritten is if you will pay more attention to what you're writing as opposed to cut and paste. Now, it's going to be slightly different than this picture here. Notice this picture, the writing is bleeding through on the page. So what we've done, this is actually about 10 years old. So what we've done is switched over to writing only on one side of the page to prevent that bleeding through. Now, no one's asked a question about electronic tablets yet. If you use your electronic tablet, that's fine, but you have to hand write it. Okay, so if you like to use your laptop, if you've got a 2-in-1 laptop and you flip it over and write on it, it's fine. Or if you have a tablet, all that's fine. Okay. Or buy a comp book. And someone told me they're 50 cents at Walmart. I can't believe they're that cheap, but I'm just saying that one student said that. They're if not like $1 or something like that. Yeah. Say again?
That's like no, just kidding.
You can, yeah.
Oh,
Did I say that?
honestly, I don't remember. It's something that's.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, you can. A lot of people have investments and they like to use them, yeah. And some people really like doing it electronic. So it's not a problem at all. And so what I'll do is I'll digitally, when I walk around to check your pre-lab, I'll just sign it on your tablet. And it's just very straightforward. Okay, so let's go back up here. All right. So some of these are really obvious. Title of the lab. Now you're going to start every lab on the right page, the right side page, not the left side. Every new lab starts fresh. You're also going to be numbering your pages, but your table of contents is going to relate to your labs. And it's only going to relate to the first page of the lab. Not, some people are putting in their table of contents what page the purpose is on, the proceed, all that stuff, just where the lab starts. Now, not this lab or the next lab, you're not going to have any first aid to deal with. But after that, you're going to have to start looking at the first aid for all the chemicals you're going to come across. Some of the labs have quite a few chemicals, quite a few. In fact, the better labs, the ones that our students really like, have a zillion chemicals, but you have to look them all up. Now, before we do one of those, I'll show you kind of some shortcuts on doing the first aid. I don't like busy work, and I don't expect you to do busy work. So I'm going to minimize your busy work, but I want you to be safe. And that's the purpose of doing the first aid. Okay, I already mentioned you're writing it. It's okay to summarize your procedure. In fact, I liked when you summarize, so they know you read it then. Otherwise, you're gonna be copying word for word. That doesn't mean you read it. You're gonna need a data table. Now, sometimes they're supplied, sometimes they're not. And the data table is very customizable. You can do it a lot of different ways. And a data table is simply a place to put your data. If you observe something, if you weigh something, you record something. That's stuff that goes into the data table. Okay. And this is optional. If you're gonna do this for a pre-lab, it's fine. You're gonna do one anyway. But I wouldn't ding you if you don't have to do it. Okay, this is made up of, that's the pre-lab I'm looking for. These items here. Okay? All right, and where do you find all this stuff? You find it in your lab packet. At the beginning of each lab is a background. Do not put the background in here unless you want to. Totally optional. Most people don't because it's a lot of writing. But that's where you find the purpose. Why are we doing this lab? That's where you find the procedure. Excuse me. One thing that's left off in here is a materials list. What materials are you using? That's chemicals, glassware, Bunsen burner, ring stand, whatever. Like the first lab, you're going to be using a beaker, down the size of the beaker. You're using a balance, right down balance. And it's a milligram balance. There are two balances in the lab. One without a glass cage on top and one with a glass cage. I always use the one with a glass cage because it's more accurate than the other one. It doesn't matter whether the materials are before the procedure or after the procedure. Whatever feels right for you. Now, where do you get the materials from? You get the materials from the procedure. Procedure will tell you what to do with what. Okay, so any questions about this? Okay, so there are three parts to the lab. One is pre-lab. The second part is actually doing the lab. See, here's an example of materials list. It's not rocket science. Okay, so three parts to doing the lab. Okay, pre-lab, doing the lab, measuring, observing, whatever you're supposed to do. And then the third part are the post-lab questions. Now on your lab packet, when you look through the lab, there are pre-lab questions also. And it'll say pre-lab. That's part of the pre-lab, not the pre-lab. A lot of people think that's answering those 4 or 5 questions is doing the pre-lab. That's part of the pre-lab. Sometimes there are pre-lab questions, sometimes there aren't. Okay, but there are always post-lab questions. And lastly, a conclusion. Now, in the conclusion, I don't expect 10 pages. I expect a paragraph. Okay, just what did you learn? I learned the definition of density or whatever. Okay, and that's the write-up. It's not very hard, but it's a pain because it's a lot of handwriting that you're not used to. Okay, pen, blue, black ink is normally the norm for doing a write-up. I personally like color. And you see my lab coat, all tie-dye. I like color. So if you would like to decorate your lab, the flowers, or different colors, that's fine. You want to write in pink, that's fine with me. But your next teacher may not allow you to do that, just FYI. Okay? All right, so let's. Now I'm going to save this as a separate video.